really keeping our eyes on. One of them is Brute Force, right? Brute Force struggled yesterday, and they start off this one with a bad goose egg. But now we are headed into Erangel. Let's get it going.
Absolutely. With dual gaming chipsets and 144Hz AMOLED screens, the GT20 Pro will equip teams with up to 120 FPS, which is also the first batch of supported devices. Offering esports level performance and visually stunning experiences in the 2024 PMWC, let's get Erangel underway for the first time for Group Green and for the last set of Erangels for Group Red.
That's right. That's right. It's just this one and two more, and Group Red are done, and you do not want to go out like this. I mean, there's nothing worse as a PUBG Mobile competitive player than having to sit out a day and just watch your lead just go away in an instant. Or actually, no, not even an instant. Just little by little by little. So if you're a team right now that is in that mid-pack of the leaderboard right now, you got to get it going. You got to get it going because tomorrow they're coming for that slot.
Absolutely. They need to pick the pace up because it all matters here. It's really short sets of games in these group stages, in these survival stages, and there is a lot of money still on the line for the early part of things. Playing path on the south side from Lipovka down to Primorsk. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a difficult path, potentially up towards George. And it's not even going to go out there. Hard northeast shift on the circle here. Keeps a lot of those Yaz fields in, and Stalber as well.
Kameshki's in play, baby.
Hell yeah.
Kameshki is in play. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody send me your energy. I have not seen a Kameshki finish in years, so that'd be awesome. But, I think a lot of teams are going to be kind of heading for those Yasnaya fields. A lot of zones like to end up in that area there, so we'll see what happens. Team Liquid are in a great spot near Lipovka. You've got, of course, Talon taking up Yasnaya. But you got squads like Vampire, right, all the way near Primorsk. They have a big journey ahead of them.
Speaking of teams that didn't do so great, right? Vampire in that first match, their approach, I felt like it kind of just didn't have any wind in its sails to start with. It was a lot of grouped up teams, to be fair, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the linearized approach to the west side of that circle that you had to take. A lot of teams are also going to be packed in behind you, so when you're taking that approach, it's going to be pretty tricky to navigate. Vampire definitely felt that. They didn't have their back clear. It was Besiktas Black who were able to take them down on it.
Yeah, Vampire to me, they just look like a team that's coming in for the first day. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a overwhelming performance. Just a little bit of synergy issues here, some little slight mistakes. And at this stage, especially we have an entire group that has already played. They're hot. They're ready to go. Any little slip-ups, you are going to get taken out. So, yeah, Vampire need to definitely step it up here. We heard Sertani, or you talked to him, and he said, what, they were looking for at least top 8? Right?
Yeah, in the finals, that is, not for the group stage.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, in general, top 8 is kind of where they would be happy with as a result at the end of this tournament. And I think that's kind of what they're focusing on. They're focusing on creating that foundation to be a Titanic international team, right? That's kind of what matters. And hopefully we'll see that start to emerge here. And you can never judge a team coming into a tournament off one game.
That's true.
But I think in that last match, there was a pretty clear lack of attention given to their back.
Well, right? It makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially considering that, they are our last year's mid-season champions, so a lot of expectations are going to be on them. And, of course, we're going to be scrutinizing the teams that we have high expectations for. And, Vampire is definitely one of those squads. So it's one thing, right, to win a championship. It's another to defend it,
That is true. That is true. You've got to... Yeah, all sorts of logistical problems.
They got to get that back-to-back. That back-to-back. And
they did it once.
They did it once. That's right. That is right. So let's see if they could do it once again. Now, I'm looking at the circle here. We see teams, I think, very, very comfortable with it because there is that northern island still available, and there's a lot of different routes that these teams can take to make it to safety. But at this point, I think a lot of these squads are a little bit slow on the rotate. Meanwhile, Team Reject trying to take out Tiamba. Oh, Reggie getting caught.
Oh, dear. And again, Tiamba with an early opener. This is a team that's starting to turn heads, right? I don't think many people would have put Tiamba as a top team In terms of like predictions coming into things, which I mean, to be fair, they did win PEL, so it's reasonable that that they are performing as well as they are right now. But I feel like a lot more attention was being given to the Falcons, to the Alpha 7s of the world, and to Team Liquid. But Tiamba reminding us just why they are such a big name in the international scene as well.
That's how you do it right there. I mean, they crushed it in game number 1 today. They did a great job yesterday, and already started off with an elimination. 69 points right now on that leaderboard. Nice. I mean, these guys are not messing around. Now, teams like, D plus Kia, they need to have a good bounce back game here because this is their last day they're going to be playing in, at least in this stage. Alliance starting to take some shots downrange. Looks like they got a nice knock near Potato Hill. And they are, just setting up nice and pretty, and that is going to be Harami Bro. They're going to lose a player. Yeah,
to Alliance as well, which is going to slow them down on that southwest side, playing around that Potato Hill position. Losing a player, again, this is their first day as well. Harami Bro did not have, I believe, a great first map. They didn't get any point. Well, the opposite of great, I think. It's the worst possible result. First map, getting 0 points. And it looks like they're not off to another great start either. I'm a little bit worried about this team. I mean, they came through, I think they were champions from SCA, right? And it's just not happening for them so far at the start of these first 2 matches. And you can't let many more get away from you if you want to be in those top 12 moving into the finals directly. Maybe see them in the survival stage. Over to the circle we go as Talon moved into Yasnaya early. They've been in there for quite a while now, and they're starting to have neighbors move in. It's going to be pretty difficult to isolate these positions. Yas Fields being a big factor here, with D plus Kia taking up a really strong compound on the west side of those Yas Fields. The east side currently being dominated by Team Liquid, although it looks like they might want a little bit of a scrap with Besiktas up north.
Okay, meanwhile, speaking of scrap, we're looking at Mad Bulls taking on some shots under Harami Bro. Harami Bro down to 3 players. You can see them late to the party here, and they're just trying to find a spot. Looks like they're going to commit to Alliance, though. And Leon is now, it looked like he thought he was going to go into that dip, but instead, turning at the last second. They're going to give it up to Harami Bro.
All right, okay. It looks like Harami Bro are starting to take things back into their own control. 2 eliminations now on the board for the one that they had taken away from them, and 2 players from Alliance have gone down as well in the midst of this scrap. Mad Bulls have yet to find these pickoffs, and they will continue to just trudge up north for Harami Bro. There's 3 players alive.
Yeah, Harami Bro taking a place we like to call OP dip, right? And it is a pretty good, strong spot. The problem is you have to commit to it when the zone is in this area, right? They lost a lot of resources there. Their vehicles are smoking out, and the zone could still go all the way north. So very interesting for them to hard commit here. They did get 2 eliminations in the process, so definitely take that to the bank. And I think they are getting a little bit antsy considering that they lost 1 and had a bad game 1. So sometimes you got to take some risks, and this time it paid off, at least for now.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see where this next circle goes. Vampire now moving past Pachinki, a little bit slow to get in, but another Eastern shift keeps Lepovka in it. Sorry, Jukes, we're going to get Kameshki. Not this time around. We've got 2 more chances, though. 2 more rolls of those dice, so we'll see how that goes. Vampire on the southwest side, close to 4MV, who dropped in military base. They've been moving up for quite a while now, and going to be trying to punch in on that western edge around that Potato Hill. They'll try and navigate this treacherous terrain and push in near DX Xavier, south of D plus Kia, who are leaving their really strong compound on the west side of Yas Fields. Probably rightly so. You don't want to be locked into going for a full rotate straight across Yas Fields when a lot of those teams on the south are going to start to post up.
Yeah, you can see a Vampire trying to find a good spot here. They're getting shot at. For Miracle doing exactly what they're supposed to over here by Potato Hill. Just if you see anybody get close, just play keep away. Vampire are definitely going to do exactly that. They're going to be just still hunting down a spot. Actually, I think they might just hold up this edge here. Yeah, just kind of hold it down for now and figure out where this next zone is going to go. So they're going to stick it in that compound for now. Meanwhile, looking up north, Team Falcons are starting to make their way down into the fray near Yasnaya. Yeah. This was actually a very fortunate zone shift, by the way, for Brute Force. over there in the middle. If they would have went north, they would have been in big trouble. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say, honestly, I think if Brute Force does bad this game, we might not see them here, or we might see them in the survival stage.
Yeah, it might have to be. We'll have to see if that is going to be the case. A knock sent over towards DX Xavier. I'm not entirely sure who was able to pick that one up. And it was a flush as well, leaving them a little bit the worse for wear. 3 players alive, and actually a lot of damage being sent their way. Tianba, I mean, of course it is. Who else is it going to be? Tianba taking the fight. Balls as well.
Xavier.
Is that DX Xavier just getting picked apart slowly?
Little by little.
At range.
They're down to 1.
They tried to send in. They tried to send into the middle, didn't work.
Yeah, this late of a rotation is just not where it's at. I mean, there's still 16 teams remaining. You got to know that if you're late to this circle, you got to just play edge because everything in the middle is already taken.
Unless you're a solo and sort of going for a last-ditch attempt kind of play, right? But
it's still too early. It's
exactly.
only stage 2.
You're right, absolutely. Yeah. It is definitely a little bit, let's call it interesting of a decision for DX Xavier to make that one go for them. They do still have 1 player alive. They're not out of it just yet, and we've seen what a solo player can do in Shan, but those performances are few and far between. Tianba holding down in a pretty central position now.
Yes, they are. And yeah, DX Xavier, they started the day in 3rd place, right? In 3rd place. So they had a great day, number 1. And now we're starting to see them fall little by little here. Another rough performance here in game number 2. At least it was looking like, let's see what Lamborghini could do. This zone does not help them out. That is for sure. And what I say, right? Yes, Naya Fields. It looks like that is where this could end up. And it's very fortunate for Talent to be in the position they're in right now. But, you know, teams on the southern edge, looking at you, Brute Force, right? You're going to have to fight your way into this one.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tricky here. Mad Bulls in a really strong ridge line, but the difficulty is defending it from that south side. They're going to have their wits about them. DX Xavier losing. Did they get a res there? I don't know, but oh no, this is a replay. Okay, yeah. I was caught completely off guard. I was looking at the map feed there, but yeah, that's how DX Xavier lost a lot of their players. Moving on up north, Mad Bulls now in a position to try and defend their south side ridge of Yas Fields. Could be pretty profitable if they're able to hold on to it.
And let's see right now, for Miracle Vibes, getting some nice knocks. They're going to be putting in some work here.
Western Edge.
Yes, they are.
Third party from D+ Kia coming in from the south side of it, though, as they try and rotate back on up. This is Al-Ulek, IHC, D+ Kia now wading into the fray, but Nolbu actually taken down, says, hold on a minute, we're busy. Shuts the door for them. And 4MV trying to take this fight. It's not going well really for anyone in this compound as the spray goes around the side and Godless wins it out for Al-Ulek IHC, but now D+ Kia can get this res, can turn their attention further on in. Yasfield's a made feature and getting any control over it would be great. That position on the west edge, pretty isolated, but could be Sanctuary. Yeah,
D+ Kia could definitely afford to take this fight. I mean, they have plenty of points from yesterday here. Oh, look at all the nades coming out from this way. Oh, you also got Brute Force here on the edge. So D+ Kia, if you're going to take this fight, you better commit to it pretty quickly.
They need to try and make this one work. Only a couple of players to defend off against it. Nolbu does get res, but Osal immediately traded out. And that's Brute Force swimming on in. And that is going to be a nasty knock for them. That is their backstop as well. Pre-pod out in the blue zone, still taking shots. D+ Kia allowing Al-Ulek IHC to move in, but Team Liquid have moved in on this north side. They've rotated past Yasnaya, and they are now a massive presence on this west edge. Another really smart rotation from Team Liquid.
Beautiful play right now, and honestly, we're seeing indecision from D+ Kia. They are late to this fight. Instead, trying to hold off a little bit longer. They got punished from the back by Brute Force. Now they're starting to just force their way in because they have no choice. Let's see if K can get this knock up close. Oh, and they do end up getting one. We're starting to see some jump outs. Let's see what Godless can do on the outside. He has that UMP. Going up against Chips. Chips now stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's holding those stairs for dear life. And meanwhile, looks like Brute Force up on top of the hill trying to make something happen. And Team Liquid are just very satisfied with where they're at.
They're throwing out the mud, slowing the steps of all of these opposing players. Brute Force, this is a good start for it, right? They need to convert here. 3 eliminations, a sweep potential on the west, but with the hard shift out east on the circle, this again makes their path hard. Chips low, but not out of it just yet. 2 first aids, and looks like he's going to be able to get this one off. Prepod close and personal. Dangerous, given there's 2 players from Alolex IHC here. Prepod could get knocked and flushed very, very quickly, but behind the wall, he's got cover and backup. Team Liquid, again, this is that rotation I was talking about. They move past Yasnaya, and they have the top spot.
The zone is shifted. These teams need to either fight, full send it on in, or get moving. They have no more time to spare here. There is just seconds now on the clock. 19, as a matter of fact, before the zone starts closing. D plus Kia gone. Brute Force need to just full send it on in. They have no choice.
Big nade, but doesn't quite connect in the way that you want it to. Chip still going on in. The nade's not quite tagging him up. He's in that little side room there. A nade from Neos does find it. Finally, D plus Kia fully eliminated. Now Brute Force have the ground floor under control, but Alola XIHC still 2 players going. Only 3 to deal with, so it's potential they can make this one work, but they aren't going to be able to step out in time. They try and send. Godless does a lot of damage, but doesn't find it. There's a knock from Demo on the inside, but it's shut down by Prepod. Zone 4, they need to get away with this.
I don't even know if he's going to be able to get this first aid off. This is going to start chunking them down little by little here. They overcommitted to this fight. And yeah, Team Liquid had to make a decision. Either go into zone or gatekeep, get the easy eliminations. And it looks like that's exactly what they decided to do.
Team Liquid, again, another heads-up play. They move out in front of this fight. They know they're going to have to cross Yaz Fields. They do not want anyone behind them. They sweep this one through. Mad Bull's now their next barrier as Prepod is moving out into the firing line. Team Liquid might just have to go across this Yaz Fields position, use some of that terrain cover to the south, and hit up that Falcons outpost on the south.
Oh boy, well things are starting to heat up here as we're going to have, looks like a finish right by Yasnaya and just north of Mansion. Team Liquid, yeah, with all the room in the world. Well, actually not really, because look at that. You got Icy applying that pressure and popping out Mythic out the vehicle. Beautifully done.
Oh,
they're in trouble.
They hit the vehicle, they hit a snag, and another knock goes to Icy. They go too far north, and these buildings, they knew they were in the zone, and likely there's a team in there. I'm not sure about that one. It felt like everything they'd done up until that point was good. They just needed to turn their noses a little bit south, go for that Falcons outpost. I guess they didn't have the scouting to go for it fully confidently, and try to make this one work.
They didn't scout at all. They just full sent it blind.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not sure about that. Not liking it from Team Liquid, which is not what I thought I'd be saying.
Yeah, Prepod had the right idea, actually. He's going up north. He has that coverage from those buildings to be able to get in that zone. I think Team Liquid, just after game number 1, maybe just got a little bit too greedy there and just was hoping that the spot would be open. And again, guys, this is the World Cup. You know, if you make one small, mistake, you're going to get punished for it. And Icy did it all by himself.
That is really quite nasty. I mean, there's a reason Falcons are certainly at the forefront of people's minds. Tiamba still in it with 4. They're right on the south side now, obviously trying to convert off their previous match's performance, moving up now into Reject territory. I want a little bit more from Reject today. I feel like they've got it in the bag, but this is their main challenge now. Tiamba on their south side trying to hold off against them.
Yeah, they got to hold off the entirety of Group Yellow tomorrow.
It's such a strong compound that Reject have, but they're not holding the south branch of it.
Yeah, they are in a very, very good position here, but they just got to clear their backs at this point. And the hard part is when you're in a strong compound at this edge like this, you tend to want to just commit to it. But at some point, you got to give it up and try maybe centering up a little bit further. But they're in a really, really tough spot because Tiamba is right behind them. They're going to have to make a decision, though. Meanwhile, you got QZ, wow, making some great shots from downrange. Mad Bulls, they are completely stuck on the open here. They've
been slow on this transition from the Mad Bulls position previously, and everybody else has got ahead of them. Tiamba allowed into the south point of that Heaven compound is really good news for them. Reject with 3, most likely felt they couldn't hold off both the north and the south side, so they allow someone in, but Besiktas, maybe they're trying to change things up.
Nice shots out the vehicle here. Team Reject are in big trouble, getting pieced off little by little. We just got Sara and Duello now, last 2 players. Oh, Besiktas! They're down to just 1.
Kakali, last player, made in.
Here they come. Tiamba on the push is huge. Duello goes down, and it's just Sara left. But Besiktas Black explode. Tiamba soaking up some points, and Sara decided to take himself out and deny it.
Besiktas going down, so do Reject. That is Nasty stuff. Not many points earned for either. 4 eliminations now for Tiamba. They'll get this res, and they've got one of the strongest compounds on this south side. Moving up towards the north, their main barrier right now is going to be Harame Bro. You've also got TJB on a wide split north to south of this road, and I think that could be, again, a very big barrier to them moving on up. Madball's finally gotten rid of. I kind of counted them out already, so I'm not too surprised about that.
Yeah, they tried their best with those smoke walls, but Tiamba shut them down. And Tiamba again, QZZ with 4 eliminations already, and the legendary Sean. I mean, what a play this man made yesterday. Wow, he's actually kind of, I think he was laying down on that window seal. That was a pretty interesting play. But meanwhile, that's Team Liquid out of there. And that spot is so difficult to hold. There's so many sight lines that you can get punished from. Team Falcons decide to take it. We can see Talon punish them for that. Let's see if they're going to be able to, though.
But right now, my mind is kind of entirely focused on Tiamba. 6 eliminations already.
Crazy.
With 20 players still left alive, they could be on for another corker of a game. On the south side, they're flexing out. They're moving QZ and Bond as well out to that western side with those outposts. Excellent movement. TJB trying to use their split on this northern side. These two teams going to be going at it. What is this, though, from XC? He's moving up north. And he's going to go straight on in. Nation is found as well by Falcons.
Uh-oh.
And they are just playing on every single front right now.
Tiamba needs to be careful here. They cannot buy it off more than they could chew. Yeah, they have that confidence. Their momentum's at an all-time high, but they can't be splitting against 2 different teams. But, oh, look at this. Angles against Harame, bro. Tiamba.
They're fighting 3 teams right now.
This is insane. XC is applying so much pressure through the smoke, and that's what you got to do. Just shoot through it. Hopefully get some hit markers. 7 eliminations. This team's looking almost unstoppable here at this point.
They're fighting Falcons. They're fighting Harame, bro. They're fighting TJB on the outpost on the northeast side. Is there anything that these guys won't take on? It is absolutely incredible to see this pace pick up at the start of the day. Nades over, and this is a crunch being put on Harame Bro right now.
Oh, Tiamba's committing a lot of resources here to these last 2 players. They should just kind of run up and take him out. Harame Bro, yeah, they smoked themselves out, completely eliminated their own sight lines. And that's going to make things difficult. But now, Tiamba's going to have to go against Team Falcons. Can they hold on?
Falcons only on 3, though, and there is still that backstop in Shan. When all else fails, just give it a Shan, give him a crack at it. I'm sure he'll be able to do something. Certainly saw that in the last match, and Falcons trying to swirl around, trying to find an opening in Tiamba's presence. But given that they just took down the players in the middle, Harame, bro, it's not going to be as easy as that. Nade looks good. Icy doesn't quite go down to it, though.
How did he survive that? That is crazy. He ate that nade and spit it out. So Icy still up here, but he is down to low HP. QZZ's on fire. 7 eliminations in this one, all by himself.
Sean soloing a TJB team, by the way.
Unreal.
It's it all.
Unreal. And Talent Esports are just very happy just to be here right now. They are just holding the spot, not trying to get too active just yet. Now we do see one of their players start to move up, so that'll work out for them. But TJB as well, they need to start getting into this fight. Oh, another big nade. Tiamba just punishing the Falcons here.
There is a knock being sent back, I think, over towards backlines for Tiamba. XC on the high ground, you can see, but the nades just take him down. And Tiamba can move through another set of death crates, resupply, and it might come back to bite them. Finally, what should have happened a while ago happens to Shan, and he does get flushed out. Leaves Tiamba on 3, needing a res, so potentially even 2 if they can't get to it, and another shot goes through. This felt like it was a long time coming, but they've already got the value. 14 eliminations and a 4th place guaranteed. This is a team that's already made the money.
Yeah, they did. We're going to see them in the finals already, just with these performances alone. So yeah, I mean, you could commit to try and get that chicken dinner or a ton of eliminations. And with how valuable elimination points are, 14, I'll take that all day long.
Oh, maybe more.
QZZ wants 1 more, and he might just get it here. Let's see if they're going to be able to get that res. Oh, it's going to be close.
HK First is moving up on the flank, and I feel like, yeah, QZ has heard this. He's figured something out now, knows that there's a threat from this south side. Unlikely that Yoro pushes into this one. They know that TJB have sightlines over to this area, so going up and trying to flush a solo can be a big, big risk. for trying to create this presence, which means that QZ fights with his back to the wall against the encroaching forces of TJB, and Nate from Lamborghini finds Flower on this off angle, and just more and more is going the way of QZ right now.
Oh my gosh, QZZ is just an absolute beast, but he gets taken out there. Finally, 14 eliminations from Tampa's gonna be enough though. We got 3 teams remaining. D Xavier, the Snake, holding on for a little bit longer. It's Lamborghini, all by his lonesome.
Full pacifist run, 0 eliminations. I'm ready.
Well, he said, I'll take that all day. I am very happy near this tall grass and this dossier. Just don't mind me, folks. Don't mind me.
I'm just looking at bugs. I'm an etymologist. You know, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a fun word. Yeah, getting in amongst the ferns right now, trying to stay there as well.
Right there.
Oh, nasty. Tags on. They know he's there now.
Actually, they don't. Yeah, because those nades don't give those indicators. So unless they heard him shimmy, they're going to know. At the same time, Lamborghini's got that pad out. Just trying to be as sneaky as he possibly can. Nice little not blind nade from TJB, though.
Ooh, another one. Not quite on the mark.
Oh, no, now they have to know. They have to know.
Those bullets are hitting the ground right at his feet right now, his ankles.
That's it. Okay.
Going through.
There you go. 2 teams remaining. It's Talon versus TJB. And both these teams playing it very, very quietly here. Very passive. 4 eliminations so far from Talon, 2 from TJB. Both have 3 players up. It's anyone's game.
Swinging on through this ridge line. Peaks in the middle of this one as well. 2 teams from the newly minted Group Green trying to make their mark on their first day of play. Yoru, frontman right now. They were able to move through and take down QZ because of that nade that went on in and slowed TJB's off angles, but a great opener for them, for TJB.
Flower starting this off good, and we saw TJB just kind of send out a scout, try to get some information. He got caught out, so now it's going to be a 3v2 for sure. There's no way they're going to be able to pick him up now. So Talon now on the back foot, and if a fight like this, it's all about that first knock. So if Talon want to win this, Axel and Linux are going to have to make something magical happen.
They are outside of the circle, needing to move forwards. GK first now out in the buggy. 2v3. If Yoru can crawl back, they might find this res. The nade from Linux. Gonna isolate some ground, but there's the shot. Axel on the off angle, playing around the smoke, finds the first knock. This is the opening now for for Talon to look to come back into this one. Axel is in this next zone, but GK first is so quick for this res.
No way, Yoru with the miracle crawl. He's gonna get picked back up. TJB playing that one a little bit passive, getting that. Oh, look at Axel from the off angle.
Shimmy.
Oh, TJB's in big trouble. Axel, when is he going to pull that trigger? There it is. That's 1.
In for the shot. And he goes for the flush. A really good pickup with Yoru getting res. There's now that threat. That crunch is on. Linux into the buggy. Axel's on the off angle. Linux draws fire. Only S around the sidelines. Rolls over with the buggy. There's the shot. And it is GK first to hold his nerve. 2 players from TJB. And another knock found. They're bringing it back under control. But it's Axel still to handle. Only S with the smoke to play around. He doesn't quite get the knock. Doesn't quite get it. But it's going to be that off angle. Finding those shots. And finally TJB put it to bed.
What a game. That was so close with TJB. I think they lucked out on that one. I think Talon could have definitely made it happen there. But wow, back and forth. Great game from both these squads. But at the end of the day, the big name we're also looking at, I mean, it's got to be Tiampa, right?
Oh, for sure. They got so many eliminations there. I think it was maybe up to 15 at the end, 14 or